Hey dear ones, Aquarian Humanitarian here. Today we're going over 13D, 14D, and 15D. So if you haven't listened to the first 12 dimensions yet, please watch that first. At this level, we are talking about the operating system of all possible multiverses. So you've traveled through the stars, met the galactic councils, and touched the source. But what lies beyond the 12th dimension? Today we enter the Trinity of creation, the 13, 14, and the 15th dimensions. This is the realm of the great breath before life even begins. So let me give you an overview of these dimensions and we'll go over them in detail. The 13th dimension is where the blueprints for every possible universe are stored. So think of it as the master library. In 10D, we had the laws for one universe. In 13D, we have the mathematical codes for every reality, even ones where gravity doesn't exist or time flows backward. It is the frequency of infinite potential. The 14th dimension is the weaver's loom. This is a realm of pure oscillation and light geometry. It is the intelligence that ensures all these infinite multiverses don't collide. It acts as the harmonic glue that holds the entire omniverse together in perfect musical resonance. Finally, we reach the 15th dimension. This is the absolute point of origin. There's no geometry here, no sound, and no light. Only pure being. It is the Godhead, or the Prime Creator, in its most rested state. When we hit 15D, we have fully returned to the heart of the great central sun. The journey is complete. Okay, so let's look at these dimensions in detail now. The 13th dimension is often referred to as the point of singularity or the great central sun of all universes. While 11D and 12D represent the divine parents, the mother and father principles, 13D is the child and the parent combined. It is the state of absolute source. In many metaphysical frameworks, 13 is the number of transmutation and completion. If you imagine the dimensions as a ladder, 13D is the top step that actually leads you back to the very beginning. It is the 0 point where the circle of creation closes. In 13D, there is no more he or she, light or dark. All polarities that began in the 12th dimension are fully synthesized. It is often described not as a place of thought, but as a place of infinite resonance. It is the heartbeat of the entire multiverse. In some spiritual teachings, the 13th dimension acts as a portal out of this specific cosmic manifestation. If the first through 12th dimension represent the game of life or the cosmic matrix, 13D is the exit door. It is the consciousness level of the Prime Creator. While 12D is often seen as a brilliant white gold, 13D is frequently associated with the rainbow frequency, a light so pure it contains the potential for every color and every dimension simultaneously. The 13th dimension is essentially the Trinity in its highest form. So 11D is the divine feminine, magnetic, its womb. 12D is the divine masculine, electric, the seed. 13D is the divine union, the result, the source. So why is the 13th dimension matter now? Well, for those focused on the current shift, 13D is considered the frequency of grace. Connecting to 13D is about claiming your absolute sovereignty as a fractal of source. It reminds the soul that while we are playing roles in 3D or 5D, our true origin is the infinite 13D. Accessing 13D energy helps a person stay in the neutral observer mode. When the world feels chaotic in the 3D, 4D world, The 13D provides the perspective that everything is a perfectly unfolding expression of the One. Moving into the 14th dimension takes us beyond the source of our local multiverse and into the realm of great void, or the cosmic reset. If the 13th dimension is the One, the completed circle of our creation, the 14th dimension is the space in which the One exists. It is the transition from being to pre-being. In the 14th dimension, we encounter the consciousness of the absolute zero. This is not a dark or empty void in a negative sense. It is the fertile womb of the entire cosmos. It is the state of existence before a single thought or spark of light, 12D, 13D, ever occurred. 14D is often described as the over-observer. It is a level of consciousness that watches the creators, 12D, and the multiverses, 10D, without interfering. It is pure, unfiltered awareness. While the 10th dimension held the templates of our multiverse, the 14th dimension is believed to be the corridor or hallway that leads to other entirely different source system. Imagine our entire 13-dimensional reality is just one bubble. 14D is the ocean in which many different bubbles float. To access 14D, one must move past light, sound, and geometry. It is accessed only to the deepest levels of stillness. In advanced metaphysical research and 5D transition work, 14D is discussed as the ultimate clean slate. 14D energy is used by advanced practitioners to clear the most stubborn 3D, 4D energetic imprints. Because 14D is pre-creation, it has the power to dissolve any distorted creation back into its original state of nothingness. It is the source of the heartbeat that keeps the dimensions in balance. Beyond 14D, some frameworks describe a 15th dimension, which is often seen as the manifestation of the Godhead, a level where a brand new grand experiment begins. However, for most human to cosmic transitions, 14D represents the edge of what can be conceptualized by a mind currently inhabiting a physical body. The 15th dimension is widely considered the outer rim of our current time matrix. If the 14th dimension is the stillness or the void, the 15th dimension is the grand manifestation of the Godhead, the final layer of light before one exits the specific creation entirely. In many advanced metaphysical frameworks, 15D is the peak of the causal plane and the home of the Rishi consciousness. In the 15th dimension, the white light of the 12th and the 13th dimensions breaks apart into its most fundamental components. It is often described as a deep magenta or ultraviolet ray that contains the 7 sacred suns. These are the 7 primary frequencies that step down to create all colors, sounds, and laws of physics in the lower dimensions. While 12D is the father of our local system, 15D, seen as the grandfather or the supreme architect of the entire 15-dimensional time matrix. The 15th dimension is inhabited by the breathers or the Rishi. These are not beings in any sense we understand. They are vast fields of solar consciousness that breathe universes into existence. From 15D, the entire journey, from the 1D mineral to the 13D union, is seen as a single simultaneous event. There is no more learning here. There is only the constant expansion of the Godhead. In the study of ascension mechanics, 15D is the final gate. To reach 15D consciousness, the soul must undergo a total transfiguration. You are no longer a soul, which is a 4D 6D concept, or an oversoul, 7D 18 9D concept. You become a causal field. Passing through the 15th dimension is like exiting a building. Once you cross this threshold, you leave the time matrix entirely and return to the absolute source, which exists beyond all dimensions and descriptions. 15D is the master key. Many teachings suggest that human originally had a 12 to 15 strand DNA template. Activating the 15th strand is synonymous with achieving cosmic consciousness, the ability to hold the frequency of the entire universe within a single point of awareness. In energy hygiene, calling upon 15D frequency, the magenta ray, is often used to seal the auric field against any interference from lower 1D to 14D levels. It is the top-down approach to healing. Alright, dear ones, this completes the 15-dimensional map of our cosmic structure. I hope this helps.